Ding, ding, ding.
Welcome, you guys. Our first official live Tuesday night football show. God has blessed us with another exciting week of football, and he's also blessing us with some good food. It's Turkey Day coming up, right?
Turkey Day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's go into this weekly
as
recap.
big man, me and Engel are absolutely excited about that.
Very excited.
I'm there.
Earl,
man.
special
I'm
guest.
not a small dude.
Special
I'm ready to
guest of
throw
the
down some
week.
food.
We got Earl coming in right here, stepping up.
You'll see what he says.
Appreciate
You'll see
you
what he has
guys.
to say.
Appreciate you.
Finally
having
bringing
me.
someone else besides the damn 49er fan in the show. I appreciate it.
That's
Yep.
good. It's always
What
good.
games out of the weekly recap? What games stuck out to you the most?
The game that pissed me off the most was the Commies and the Cowboys.
Okay, first off, we're going to start like this. We're not going to disrespect my squad by calling them the commies. All
They're
right?
the
We're going to
commies,
start off
man.
like that. We're not going to have
I mean, you could call them the Washington Football Skins. You can just throw all their
Washington
past,
football
all their
football
their
team.
team
Wow.
names all in at once.
we are not going to start off the show this way, guys. We're not having it.
It started it off last week, but
All
all
right,
right,
it's
all right,
happening.
I won't do it.
Say what you got to say.
We're
Say
talking
what you
about
gotta
Brian
say.
Robinson destroying my parlay. And then we're talking about the most boring first half of football I've ever watched. 6 points in the first half. Somehow, Cooper Rush decides I kind of want this starting job, so I'm just going to go off in the second half. Goes 24 for 32, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Dude had a QBR of 117. I think he's like the third highest QBR this week.
Yeah, the Washington's defense was just. But the real reason we lost that game, and I say we because we all know it's a we thing.
Is
We
it a
lost
we
that
thing or is
game.
that a you thing?
Hey, calm it down. We lost because they do not throw the ball to number 17 in the first half. This is the second, third, maybe fourth week in a row. He's had 1 or 0 receptions in the first half.
That man went 5 for 6 for 102 yards and a
Yeah.
tutty.
In the second half.
Yeah, this is like
It
he only had 13.
just so happens he also went 4 of 5 for like
Yep.
20 yards.
I will tell you one thing though. Dallas did finally look like they got a rhythm going. You know, it's been a little while since it's been really stagnant offense, and I feel like Cooper Rush stepped up and they got into a little rhythm. They were running the ball more. They were a lot more effective. And I
Conference
just think
game.
Commanders don't really got that strong of a defense.
I
They
mean,
definitely don't got that strong of a kicker.
For a conference game, it actually was kind of high scoring, to be honest.
Stop the madness, salt.
That's terrible. That
It was
is
actually an
just
extremely
terrible.
high game, a high scoring game for it being a conference game.
Yeah,
Usually
it
conference
was.
games are pretty close knit. Yeah, but more to Engel's point, Terry McLaurin, I mean, what was it, 14 yards in the first half?
Terrible. Terrible.
But that explosive play at the end of the game, that honestly, it should have sent it to overtime, to be honest. But we're not. I won't bring up the kicker. I won't break your heart even further, my friend. But yeah, that just shows you what you need to feed your players.
Trash.
Feed them, absolutely. But I'll go ahead and
How about that return though? That was electrifying.
Turpin put him in the spin
He
cycle.
looks like an android, man. He did a little slow spin, then he grabbed the ball and shot off out of a cannon. That was crazy.
It literally looked like someone was button mashing on 2K. And it just did this weird, goofy spin, and then everybody on that special teams defense was just looking at him like, "What's he
all the
doing?"
AI didn't
and
know
just
what to do.
forgot that he was
Right.
running
The
past
AI
them.
glitched out.
He didn't even look like he was running hard, man. It's crazy.
Dude, he's
Fast.
the fastest person in
Honestly,
the
like when Tyreek
league.
runs, Tyreek doesn't look like he's running fast either, but he's gone.
He just runs a little bit faster than everybody else.
Absolutely.
Except for Turpin. He's the fastest player in the league.
I think so. I think he's actually the top.
He is.
Is he?
I think
He's
so.
The fastest player.
Don't-
But I'm gonna go ahead and take over, and then
tell
we're gonna
Cheetah
bring
that.
it. We're gonna stay in the division. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Eagles Rams. Are we
Of
shocked?
course.
Now, yes, I bring up
Oh
the
my
Eagles all the
gosh.
time, but for good reason. Okay, first of all, Saquon Barkley having probably. You know what? Can you guys not?
Every week, this man wants to just talk about the Eagles.
But I understand. I'd be talking about
Yeah,
Washington
I
too
get
if
it.
this guy didn't take him. So go ahead.
So what I will say is Saquon Barkley 255 total rushing yards in that game, 2 touchdowns, over 300 total scrimmage yards in that game. The man is killing it. The man, I mean, first of all, last week my trash topic was the fact that Saquon Barkley was not getting enough respect. No question, everyone is
They
giving this
must
man
have
the
heard
respect
you.
now.
They must have heard you.
Everybody out there is giving this man the respect right now. So I cannot even say a damn thing about it. But what I will say though, he's at 1392. Okay. He needs 714 more yards to break the all-time single-season rushing record, okay?
he's gonna get that.
How many more games?
Yeah, he's doing it.
We're in week 13, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so 5 more games.
700 what?
714, and then that's an average of 142 a game.
Ooh.
I mean,
That's
again,
doable.
that
That's
is
doable.
totally
I feel like that's
doable.
doable.
I
for
double
him.
checked it too. It's 142.8.
Yeah, because there's going to be a game in there where he's not going to hit it, but there's going to be a game where he runs 200 yards. Like, he's going to hit it.
Oh, absolutely. He's absolutely going to hit it. But I will say, though, is the Rams didn't look like the Rams as a whole in that one. I mean, they didn't convert 1 third down in that entire game. That's how bad the Rams look. Cooper Kupp got an end of the game touchdown, which kind of helped the stats a little
Trash
bit.
time tutties.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like everybody's waiting for the Rams just to start clicking, and they show signs of it, especially on offense, and then all of a sudden they just dog water the next game.
They've
you
got all
know?
the weapons for
Crazy.
sure.
thanks for using my term.
Dog water?
Dog water?
Dog water.
Ooh, I like
Come
that.
on now. Who was saying dog water on this podcast?
I'll be
before I
saying
was
it the
dog
rest of
water?
the show.
How'd you come up with that? Did you try some?
No,
Nice.
I just like I was like dog, and then I just
Some 13-year-old in the Call of Duty lobby was like, "Muffin's your dog water," and he's like, "I'm using that on the podcast."
Definitely. All right, so my recap game is Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Let's not talk about
Let's
it.
talk about that. How did I'll tell you exactly how Cleveland came through.
ruined my parlay.
I think I was talking about this maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago when I said Jameis Winston is going to be the savior in Cleveland. He's not the savior. I was a little bit wrong about that part, but he's steadying the ship. They've got Nick Chubb back. He's working his way back into action. I think he had like 60 yards, 2 touchdowns.
We
Gave me
saw
some
some
good-
life for sure.
Yeah, he gave me some good fantasy points. But Pittsburgh, man,
Russ was not cooking.
he wasn't cooking. He was not cooking.
But give the man credit. It's hard to do that when you're in a snowball like that. I mean, the weather was terrible.
He had a first half where there was no snow. He had a
This
first
is
half.
true.
I mean,
This is true. Can't even argue
there
it.
They had a first half.
There
where
was
there
some
no
snow in there. There was
and
some
you know
snow.
what I don't like about Pittsburgh? Look, you took Fields out. Stop trying to throw him in to do all these little trick plays. You're not going to let him throw the ball. You let him throw it one time. Leave him out. Let Russ do his thing.
I mean, you do got some talent just sitting there on the sidelines, though.
Well, they
why
should-
wouldn't try to?
Well,
Why
they
wouldn't you
got
try to
him
switch
for
it up?
next to nothing. And here's the thing: is I think whenever Fields comes in, everybody knows what's happening.
Exactly.
He's
That's my
running
point.
the ball.
It's Wildcat all
That's
the
what
time,
I'm like.
all day.
He's
The
running the
Wildcat,
ball.
That was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
That's
the
not gonna
Steelers.
work
The Steelers
now.
found their Taysom Hill. That's pretty much what they use him as. Is Taysom Hill.
I'd rather have Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Honestly, he
Me too.
should be their starting quarterback. I don't know. Like Russ is okay, but Fields won you 4 games straight off the books. Plays good. He's actually a run. He's a dual threat. Russ is not a dual threat. Russ ain't gonna run and do all that other stuff.
Russ hasn't been a dual threat, but he can.
He throws a
be
deep
dual
ball.
threat.
He throws a nice deep ball.
He does. And I think he's a lot more accurate than Fields, so it gives them that option, right? So if Pickens goes and he burns somebody on an out route,
Right?
I don't think Fields has the ability to just drop that dime.
No, he does. Not consistently.
Not consistently.
Right.
He'll
Not
have
con-
like a sporadic moment. of
Yeah,
it.
it's just not consistent as Russ is, I guess you could say.
I guess, but when you have a 50-50 chance that you've got a receiver that's going to make that space, can you really afford to have the 50-50 chance that the QB is good enough to get it there?
I just feel like Russ, man, he's not going to lead you guys to the promised land. He's not.
Honestly, I think he can. They have a good enough defense. They have a good enough coach. Now, I will admit,
How much did he
I was
pay?
trash talking Mike Tomlin.
How much did he pay
last
you?
week?
Exactly.
Tomlin's winning without a starting quarterback. Let's keep it real, you know? So I feel like Russ doesn't really have to do much. They're still going to be in the playoffs. They made it far last year
Oh, we're already in
with
the playoffs.
nobody.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
definitely in the
playoffs.
Pittsburgh, what? If I'm correct, Tomlin, he's never had a losing season.
No.
No.
It isn't-
Worst he's
so-
done is he's gone 500.
Yeah, it was like it really kind of doesn't. His system, as long as he's got a solid defense, a solid running back, 1 or 2 solid receivers, the quarterback is kind of just a plug and play. I feel like.
Russ isn't throwing tons of interceptions either. So he's not going
He's
to
taking
No.
care of the ball.
he's
Well,
not going to help
Fields
them
didn't
lose the
throw-
game.
Fields didn't throw. I think he threw like 1 interception.
He didn't play that long though.
4 games.
That's
not that-
4 games though.
But Fields and Russ, there's a huge difference there. Russ is throwing these beautiful like
Well, we're
layup
not gonna say
passes.
it.
He's giving George
Layups.
Pickens a chance to go up and grab it, make these exciting catches. And what's that tight end's name? I can never get it right.
Fryermuth.
Patty
Yes.
French fries?
Yep, they're giving
Patty
Patty
French
French fries.
fries.
I
Call
like
him
that.
Patty French fries.
He's throwing it up there. He has that nice lob, and he's giving them a chance to actually go get the ball. So that changes the game. You know, the other guy didn't have that. He was just running all the time. It's kind of one dimensional.
yeah,
I
Pickens
wouldn't
is a
wanna play
big-
them in the
Big,
playoffs.
tall, lanky receiver too.
That's for sure.
If you give him a chance to go up and get it, it's a 50-50 ball. You know.
I mean, I guess we'll
But
see.
you gotta feed your stars, and George Pickens with 4 receptions, you got to do better. I'm sorry. I mean, I get it. The second half, you know, it was a snowball, but you got to do better.
That seems
It was
to
an
be,
ugly
that
game.
seems to be going around.
I will go ahead and move it on to the next week, and I'm not next week, but my next game, which is going to be Vikings Bears. Now, first, what I want to recap on this, Christopher, my friend, if you're watching.
Chris,
So we had this little debate about how the Vikings were the best defense in the NFL. My friend,
AKA smash them all.
yeah,
Smash
my
them
friend,
all.
they are not the best defense in the NFL. They
Dang,
are
Chris,
the
you gonna
best
take this?
rush defense in the NFL. They are atrocious in the passing game. They are 28th in the passing right now. Okay, now surprisingly, can anyone guess who the number 1 pass offense is, or the pass defense? It is. When I saw it, I was shocked.
It's definitely
Washington.
not the Ravens.
It is the Tennessee Titans.
really?
The terrible Tennessee Titans.
They're 3 and
So
Are,
8.
they,
just
are
to-
they last in rushing? Is that why people just feel like they can walk all over them? They don't need to throw it?
I think so. Yeah, they're so good. So it's like the Vikings. The Vikings are so good in the rush defense, but their pass defense is atrocious. Just to kind of break it down for you, they allow 234 yards per game. The Titans allow 164 yards per game through the air. Just to kind of let it go.
We play the Titans this week too. So
Absolutely. And now just to kind of break
That
it, the
could be an
Eagles are the number
ugly
1
game for
defense.
you.
Let's not get it twisted.
It could be.
B-Rob.
But honestly, I was like, this one kind of ruined my parlay as well because, again, I had picked the Bears for the upset. And honestly, I was like, that game went so back and forth over and over and over again. And I mean, I was kind of disappointed with the outcome. Jetta had a terrible, like,
JJ,
he's not
just
getting the
jogging.
targets. You gotta feed your stars. But yeah. That's for that one. So what I'm gonna say is Caleb Williams, though. Caleb Williams cannot be your lead rusher. Your quarterback cannot be your lead rusher, and you guys expect to win that game. Absolutely
Well,
cannot.
I mean, yeah. Swift disappeared. He had a good game
Yep.
and then disappeared again.
Because
So-
he's very hot and cold.
I'm glad I traded him when I could.
I had to know where.
For
John over here,
$1.
yeah, but John's over here. He
I
made it
almost
seem like
took
the
him
best
from
trade
you.
on planet Earth.
What
So
was the
I'll
trade?
give
What
you-
was the trade?
You got something like Chase Brown and
No. I traded Swift, I think, for
He got like Brock
a-
Bowers in return before
I got
Brock Bowers powered off. Yeah.
Oh.
number 1 tight end in the
Jeez.
game, filled that hole. Tight ends are hard to come by. I didn't mind doing that.
Okay.
only
okay.
tight end in the game.
So my game.
Don't disrespect Kittle, my friend. He's over here making one-handed, crazy sideline catches.
Okay, that's enough Niner talk. So my game. Let's talk about Kansas City barely beating Carolina.
Let's talk about it.
Carolina. We had a Young sighting. Young played a good game. Young
Finally
played,
threw a touchdown.
yeah, he played good enough to win that game. And then Mahomes did a Mahomes thing, led him down the field, a little razzle dazzle here, a little run here, a little throw there, a little this, little that. Next thing you know, kicker comes in, and you win by 3 points.
Yeah, I feel like Bryce kind of stepped it up a little bit. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
Carolina's just kind of been
They've been relying on Chuba
show.
Hubbard. Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
the Chuba show, right? And it doesn't matter how bad that team is. Like Chuba always puts in work.
Yeah,
And I
Chuba's
picked
been
that
putting
man
in
up
work.
off the waivers, and I'm just. I
He's been trying to
haven't- I
package him
haven't
up
sat
ever
him.
since.
I haven't sat him a single week though.
I dropped him too. I had Chuba.
Now,
done
see, Earl, your
goofed.
trades though, my friend, you'll hype these players up, and then like literally 2 days later, I'll see them on the waiver wire.
What am I
So-
supposed to do,
Oh,
brother?
that's a muffin move.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to tell you like, hey,
No,
this guy,
Muffins
he's
is
kind
he'll
of
grab
trash.
a-
You should
a
give me your
waiver
star
wire
receiver for
and
him.
try to trade him instantly.
Hey, but it works.
But it works.
But it works.
All right, so what do you got? What's your next game?
Next game, I got the Bucks versus the Giants and Baker Mayfield, 24 for 30, 294 yards. Sounds great, right? 0 touchdowns, 4
Hell yeah.
rushing touchdowns.
Or rushing.
4
Yeah, I
rushing
mean every
touchdowns.
one of the Bucks backfield got into the end zone.
Yeah,
I love that though. I mean,
It
you
makes
don't
it
really
tough.
gotta. He's winning the games. He's not messing up. Baker's a dog. I mean, we played him and he almost kicked our butts.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one thing about Baker. I think I spoke on Baker last week or the week before. Like, you got people who play football and you got football players.
Absolutely, this man's a dog.
Yeah, Baker
Baker's
is
nasty.
Baker's like a backyard smash mouth football player. Like he's gonna do what he's got to do to try to win you a game.
Did you catch it at the end of the game though when he did the Tommy DeVito celebration?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was
He went
very
all out on that one.
yeah, it was very
burned a
reminiscent
lot
to
of
when
calories.
you remember I don't know what was his name Johnny Manziel when he used to play in the
hitting him
NFL.
with the money.
Him-
Hitting him
no,
with
no,
the
yeah.
money?
So everyone was always doing his little ups. But yeah, he did Tommy DeVito's. But honestly, I was like, they blew him out of the water. I didn't feel like you needed to throw that in there.
Why
I
not?
mean,
Just salt in the wound.
Yeah, why not?
I was like, because DeVito didn't. I mean, come on, man didn't earn it.
And that's not a DeVito thing. That's a Manziel thing. Let's be real. He was
But what
he
I
was
will
doing
add on
in
to that though, the
college.
Giants though are crumbling before our very eyes. I mean, they've been crumbling for a while. Malik Neighbors.
What was up with that interview after?
I think Malik Neighbors just needs to get the ball. If they throw him the
throwing
ball,
him the damn ball.
he's going off every single week. I feel like
What did he
Neighbors
say?
is
Oh,
100%
It
of
wasn't
their
the
offense.
quarterback.
It wasn't the
He said
quarterback.
it wasn't the quarterback.
But how do you think they feel as an organization right now? They got rid of Saquon Barkley to keep Danny Dimes, and then they dropped Danny Dimes also.
One
Like,
second, you guys.
You want to talk about luck, though?
Let's transition into our around the league segment because these are topics we need to talk about in that category. Malik Neighbors coming out, calling out his coach. How crazy is that? He basically said they're not looking for me early in the game. What the heck are they doing? They're looking for me when they're down by 30.
30
That's
points.
crazy.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to? What am I supposed to do then? Literally, I'm down. We're down 30 points, and now you want to throw me the ball. What did he say in the interview? Oh, it's not the quarterback.
It's not the quarterback.
It's not the quarterback.
It's not. I don't know what it is, but
said
it's not the quarterback.
DJ was here. We were still losing. It's not the quarterback.
It could be coaching, it could be culture, it could be both.
It's
it could
play.
be,
You know what it is? I don't even think it's really the head coach. It's the offensive coordinator. Like his plays, you got to really think about it.
it's very much like the Cowboys.
You
can
have a
just kinda-
top receiver, and you choose to not throw him the ball until you're down by 30. What are you
But
calling?
if you're a head coach, wouldn't you want to put a stop to that right
Oh,
away?
yeah, you
I know if
definitely
I was
should. You
leading a
definitely should.
ship, there's no way in heck I'm going to let, even no matter how much respect I have for the guy, let him just go ahead and keep calling these crazy plays all the way until it's losing time, you know?
But you see how
I'm
quickly
gonna
every,
just call it a curse. I think the
Yeah.
G-men are just cursed, right? So like they trade McKinney to Green Bay.
The
All
man
of a
is
sudden, this
popping
man
off.
just got 6 picks, right? He's got 6
Yep.
picks now.
time for the league
They
lead.
get rid of Saquon. Saquon's got 10, 11 touchdowns.
13.
He might
He's got
break the
13?
record.
And it just makes it worse the fact that they were on Hard Knocks and it showed all of this. Like that, the whole Saquon thing, oh, well, no one's going to pay him. No one's going to pay him that money. We're going to go ahead and let him go. But hey, if somebody offers you money, give us a call and we'll see what we can do.
He said, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if he
Yeah.
went to the Eagles.
I see
where'd
that
he
video
go?
like once a week on my feed.
Oh, they
And
show it.
I think I could be wrong, but I think he's got 2 less touchdowns than the Giants as a team this season.
I actually
That's
didn't look
terrible.
that up. That's wild.
That's a
Dang,
good stat.
That's
And
a
he's-
baby Caleb move right there.
He's got 10 plays over 30 yards. Guess how many the G-men have?
How many?
10 for the entire team.
That's terrible.
That's crazy. That
terrible.
Hard Knocks segment is going to go down in history.
In history.
I don't think any other team is going to want to do Hard Knocks ever. That just shows the absolute downside of what could happen.
And it was really, every time I see it, they show different, it's like a different meme about it. The last one I saw was about how does the GM keep his job? How does he still have a job and he keeps fail? Like, how does he still have a job?
Big fails.
You know what's crazy? To Earl's point, I do think there is just some teams that are cursed. Culture. Because you've seen it with Baker. You leave the dog water Browns.
That
right?
team is not cursed. They just make stupid decisions.
Well,
Stupid decisions.
a cursed team does that, right? So he leaves the Browns. He goes to the Bucks. Now he's a dog in our eyes, right?
sure.
He's drinking the water.
For sure.
Look at Saquon. He came out and said, you know what? I left the Giants and all of a sudden I'm doing great. I think Daniel Jones has a chance to rebound, basically, right?
And I'm like, there was no lies told in that statement. There was no lies told.
Daniel
And you know
Jones
what?
may be that guy. Wherever he goes,
Hey, but the 49ers, I mean, Brock Purdy, I mean, if he
Listen.
stays hurt,
That is true.
Brock Purdy's
Some
not gonna stay
companies are just cursed like that, where once you leave, it's like a weight off of your shoulders. And I know you two know what I'm talking about. I'll say it without saying it.
I
Once-
won't say it.
Once you
I love
leave,
that.
once you leave a certain place, don't you get that? You feel like, man, like why were things so hard? Why were things so difficult? 1 + 1 does equal 2. Simple things.
You know what's crazy though is just, this is a true testament as far as what cursed teams are doing with players. Daniel Jones clears waivers yesterday. There's all these teams lining up to sign this dude.
Wherever he goes,
Noted, he's going to be a backup, so they'll have a solid, recently starting quarterback as their backup. I get it. And
He
also
didn't want to come to the Raiders.
unless he goes to the Raiders, then he'd be starting.
He's
Daddy.
already said he already turned
He's
that down.
starting, Daddy.
and he's cheap. He already got paid,
Right.
That's what I'm saying,
right?
he already
They're-
got paid. Why
He's
don't you
already
just go play
turned
some
that
football?
down.
They'll
He
pick
said he
him
wants
up
to
for
go to
about
a contender.
$375K. But also, too, a little, another reason why they're all lining up at the doors is because, if he leaves and goes to another team next year, they'll get a draft pick, right?
Mm,
Compensatory pick, is that what it's called?
okay.
I'm not gonna try to say it. It's
So
like-
he'll
it's
just
like
go
trying
for
to
the
have me
rest of
say
the
cinnamon.
season. He'll just go somewhere for the rest of the season.
They'll have a solid backup. They'll pay him nothing, and they'll get a pick at the end.
I
of
mean,
it.
or he could play like a Carson Wentz role where, he's just sitting behind an elite quarterback waiting for that spot, waiting
Huh?
for that ring.
Maybe.
You never know.
What's your last team there, Muffins?
Jesus.
Sorry, man.
I didn't.
Take a
So
breath.
no, I was watching this one last night and Ravens Chargers. The Ravens Chargers, you guys. I was watching that, and when I was first watching it, I'm like, Angel, you sure you don't want to trade Lamar back to me? Because during the first half, Lamar was looking awful.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When I turned and looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, it just started. And then I looked at the fantasy. I was like, wait a minute, -4 points. What the hell?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, freaking Muffins got me.
No, but then I went to feed my cats, and then I came back, and I'm like, they're leading the game, and I'm like,
Hey,
what
let's
is
not
going
ever
on
say that
here?
again on this show.
Muffins is also cursed, like the G-Man. He just trades people away, and then
He's a.
Don't get on the John train. Don't do that, Earl.
it's
What did John?
it's
What
not
did
a
you say?
John
basically,
train. It's
he-
real.
he trade rapes these people, right? He gets them to give up all their awesome picks for free agent waiver wire pickups. 2 non-starters and a starter, and he takes their star player.
He does that.
You gotta
but
think though. You gotta think though.
it's
There
a-
is
it's
two
a
people
What did
skill.
you
involved in this
trade for
trade.
Jamar Chase?
But then
It's
he
a
gets
skill.
too addicted to
when
the
I traded
trading.
for Jamar Chase,
Who did you give up for Jamar Chase?
I do not remember. I can look it up right the hell now. But that's not the point. The point is Jamar Chase at that point
It was a
wasn't
nobody.
doing anything, bro.
brother.
Well, hold on. We're getting
I
off
know you got
topic. The
TJ
reason
Watt.
why Earl's saying you're cursed is because you ultimately end up building this unstoppable super team.
Which I absolutely do have.
and
right
then
You
he
do.
keeps trading because he's addicted to trading, right?
Can't
Next
help
thing you
himself.
know, he trades away key components and he has holes.
now. So the trade that I traded for him, and we have defensive players in our league, so a lot of ones out there don't. But at the time, this was very early in the season. I traded for Jamar Chase for Lad McConkey, which is balling right now. First and foremost, Lad
Did you
McConkey.
say ballin'?
12
Ballin'.
points, 11, 10, 9. I don't- what did it
TJ
say
Watt, who's averaging, I want to say, 10, 15 points a game.
Sure.
So 2 starters. Now, Keon Coleman was my last one in there. So I will admit that.
Oh,
I
there's
kinda-
always a scrub in the trade. Come
No,
on.
no. I mean, you
Come
got to
on.
admit, I had to spruce that one up a little bit, but you
Does
got
that
to
guy
think.
work in the front office? Keon Coleman? Who is that guy?
Honestly, like when we first drafted everyone, there was 2 players people were hype on. Lad McConkey and Keon Coleman. They thought they were going to be the next star wide receivers, and then it didn't happen that way. But Lad McConkey right now is absolutely proven.
Who'd you get Jamar Chase from?
I got it from Montez.
He's playing on his Pittsburgh emotions.
That's what that was. All right, so let me get to my next game. This actually brings me much joy, only because we have 49er fans in the building. Let's talk about Green Bay Niners.
Do we really have
38
to?
10. 38-10.
Yeah. so
Don't cut
you
my
know it's
mic,
a good. You know
Quan.
it's
Don't
a. You
cut
know
my
what,
mic.
when John doesn't want to talk about the
38-10.
49ers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
I
Yeah,
it's
have a
go
lot of
ahead,
stuff
say.
planned to say about the Niners, but yeah, this week was a crap show. That's why I didn't bet on them. I knew it was gonna be. You
No
can see the
Purdy?
stars
To
lining
be
up.
fair, you got no quarterback.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who was the quarterback?
Something Allen?
Exactly. Some
Allen,
guy
Brandon
from the
Brandon
front
Allen.
office.
Yeah, it's just
Hey.
they should have played the Pasternaut. By the way, that was a weird move by Shanahan, especially when he knows he's gonna have to be running around. That guy doesn't run around, so it was just a weird
Yeah,
game. But also
okay.
too,
you had Christian McCaffrey there.
but he's still
Kid-
getting his bearings back.
Kittle
man.
was
He's still getting
there.
his feet, his legs back. He's not
the
down
other
yet.
guy was there. Then that one guy was there.
No team is going to
I don't
function
even
without
like
their
Purdy,
quarterback.
but Purdy, for some reason, like the team can't win without Purdy.
Elusive.
But here's the thing, though. What team? We're not getting into the Mahomes debate again. We're not doing that.
Well, hold on. I will say this. Debo, man. I love that guy. I feel like is the heart of the team. He has a C on his chest. And we were driving to get back in the game, and he just, man, Brandon Allen threw one of his only perfect passes to Debo, slipped right through his hands, interception. The dude almost ran it back for a touchdown. That really just solidified the loss right there.
Times it bees that way.
And then at the end, he decided not to interview. He rejected the interview. So that's what I want to talk about today.
Man,
I mean,
the Niners.
He's out here. He's wearing the C on his chest. He's calling out other players on the team. And then he doesn't show up for the interview, and also is not playing up to his standards. He knows it. So
maybe that's
you guys
why he
feel
didn't
about
show
that?
up, though. Sometimes you got to take that fine before you say something that you can't take back. You don't know the state. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever played sports, sometimes you're just pissed off, and it's better you just take the fine than be on live TV cussing people out and calling out your coach and calling out other. Let me just go to the showers.
And he knows what he was going to be in for too, right?
Right.
Like he knows what he knows what he's capable
yeah,
of.
he's a professional.
He knows
like,
he dropped that ball.
I
He's
get-
beating himself up. He don't want to hear it from
Yeah. How do
you think,
you or me.
I
How
love
do you-
all this talk right here. I thought you guys were going to start drilling Debo.
Nah.
Niners are still
No,
trash,
I mean, I think
though.
we
He's
a
an
few weeks ago,
emotional
we drilled him
player.
enough.
Yeah, he is.
He's an emotional player. So he probably
But
took
here's the
himself
thing,
out
though.
of a situation.
I hope Debo stays a Niner for life. I feel like
He won't.
I
They'll trade him next
I
year.
seen him last year in the playoffs, and he is really the guy that's keeping us in these games against the Lions, against Green Bay.
Yeah, I think he's very. I think you
When
could
he's
say
off
he's
the
clutch.
field,
He's
it's-
clutch,
yeah.
right? He's good when he needs to be good. So I don't think you can really.
Except
He's
for
a
this past
primetime
week.
player.
Yeah, if
What'd you
you're a
say?
Niners
Except
fan,
for
you
this
don't want to
past
see
week.
him
Yeah,
go
this
for
past
sure.
week he was trash.
No, what I will say though is I love the energy that Devo gives. I mean, sometimes obviously wide receivers are divas. It happens. It's gonna happen. But you want your star players to have that type of energy.
Right.
You don't want them to just walk off the field, just to not show any emotion. Like Saquon when he scored. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Back
my
to the
gosh.
Saquon.
I'm so sorry.
baby. I
But
get
we
it.
go
Saquon
again.
for MVP. I'm cool with it.
But there's a difference is when your team leaders show that emotion, it rallies the troops, it galvanizes the troops, and it just puts not only the players but the fan base back in the game. And honestly, I do kind of hope he stays a Niner fan.
I will
mean,
say though, before that
Niners.
drop, he was bringing us back. Like he almost ran Shanahan put him back there to catch kickoff. He almost ran it back for a touchdown. It got called back on penalty. I will say that was what lost the game for us. We had like 18 penalties. It was ridiculous. We had
It was a lot.
we got
That's
called.
coaching. Shanahan needs
Yeah,
to go.
we got called for 12 people
That's
on the
never gonna
field
happen.
twice
Never
in a
happening.
row. Have you
Sounds
guys ever
good,
heard
though.
that before? 12 people on the field twice in a row
Well, you just had to make sure.
On offense or defense?
on defense. That's
Who's
crazy.
the defensive coordinator over there? Do you know?
Sorensen?
Let him go. It doesn't matter. Come on. You're trying to win a game here. 12 men on the road. You don't know who you
Yeah,
want?
once for every great and while is okay, but twice in a row is just a lot.
Yeah. Who's the
discipline.
defensive captain? Demote him. Let's go.
Well, I will say I do got high hopes for the Niners. I'm not giving up on them yet.
Of course you do.
Okay. Usually it takes us about 5 or 6 games to start going on this crazy winning streak and show our dominance. Yeah, it's taking about 10 or 11 this
Yeah,
time.
you don't have 5 or 6 games
but
left to play
we're-
catch up, big dog.
Yes, we do, man. Our
you
division is
don't.
really tight. Brock Purdy's coming back. All right. He threw yesterday.
And he's elusive.
He's elusive. Okay. He's going to play this week. I know we're
That's-
playing the Bills, but we're finally
That's a
have all of our
loss.
chess pieces back, and we're also getting Dre
That's a
Greenlaw back.
loss. Come on.
Sorry, bro,
Greenlaw
but
back.
that is an absolute
Hey,
loss.
but I love the way you tried to spin that. You almost had me believing. For like a quick second, I was about to be like, you know what, you're right. And then I realized you're so full of shit that there's no possible way.
I will
No.
say I've been
possible.
waiting all season to place a bet on the Niners to win the chip.
Don't do it this week.
They're plus
Oh.
6,500
Oh,
finally.
to win the chip. Go
Yeah.
ahead. $2. Don't waste any more than that.
I mean, you can
You know
upgrade it
what?
to 5.
I
at
got
least.
$1 on it. Here, we'll
Yeah.
split that.
That's it. You
We're
guys
throwing
will
in
split.
5
All right,
ways.
you guys. All right, you guys. So let's move on to next week's games. There's a lot of exciting games on the roster for next week. Muffins, Which one is catching your eye, sir?
So it's the one that should be catching everyone's eye because they possibly could be.
Let me get. Are the Eagles in this game?
Yes, they absolutely are. So it could actually
Whoa.
be. a
I never
preview of
would've
the Super
guessed.
Bowl. It could be
It could be what?
Eagles and the Ravens. Could be a possible preview for the Super Bowl.
Every time you start, you know what? Go ahead. I'm not going to say nothing.
No, what? Come on.
I think we're gonna have to ban you from Eagle Talk for at least 1 week, just to see how
Can you do that?
It's not going to be this week. Next week, it could be next week. All right, I'll
Get
take
like a
next
timeout.
week.
He ain't showing next week.
Can you go to your next game, please? I don't want to hear it.
No. So this one is absolutely one of my favorites because first and foremost, both teams are balling out. Both offenses are balling out. They look unstoppable. The Eagles defense, number 1 in the NFL, Christopher. Absolutely killing it. The Ravens,
Oh, my
though.
Lord. Chris, come on.
See, this is why Chris didn't want to show up this week because he knows.
Oh,
an
don't do
absolute
that. Don't do that.
dismantling.
my
I do
dog.
have. I do have.
I'm just kidding. I know
Lamb
you're
Jack
at
as my
work, bro.
bust of the
Just
week.
kidding. I'm just playing with
Next week.
What do you have?
Lamar Jackson as my bust
Boom, right?
of the week.
Is it? No, it's
we'll
bust.
get there.
It's
We'll get
bust.
there.
My
We'll get there.
bust of the week.
And
We'll
it's-
get there. Hold your horses,
Yeah,
sir.
we'll-
I know
we'll
you're
get
new to
there.
the
Early.
podcast, but we got to stay on script,
Errol's
sir.
throwing it out
Sorry,
early.
babe,
I
sorry.
love it. I love it.
But you got to look at it. The Baltimore Ravens, their whole offense right now, Zay Flowers isn't really doing that much, but he's getting it done for what it is. Mark Andrews, I know he started off rough with the first few games, but he's absolutely getting back in there. Their defense is finally stepping up. They're great against the run. They're phenomenal against the run, and that's what the Eagles do best. So that is what I think will keep the Ravens in this game. But again, when you force the Eagles, when you force them to throw the ball, they can dice it up. A.J. Brown,
Brown
Devontae
could eat,
Smith.
He
though.
just said when you put us in a corner, you don't ever put baby in a corner.
Brown
Stop
could
it.
eat
Stop it.
because the Ravens have the worst pass defense in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Guys, when it comes down to it, Lamar Jackson. Enough said.
I know you're raving about him because you just
I just
Yeah,
picked him
you
up in
traded for him,
fantasy.
yeah.
But I just
So,
traded Derrick
this
Henry
isn't
for him,
real,
so
folks.
please, Lamar Jackson.
but honestly, I was like, yeah, for this one, I think it's a very
Right.
good preview of the Super Bowl.
All
right, but you know what? Go ahead, take it from me,
let's
take
go
it.
to- Let's go to what I got going on.
I'm starting to bleed.
I'm gonna go Chicago, Detroit. I feel like that's honestly going to be a closer game than people think. I don't think Detroit's going to smash them by 50. They may beat them by 20.
I think they're gonna be by like 23.
But Chicago,
I could see that.
I can see that.
Chicago is on the other side of how Detroit plays. They almost play the same style.
Bad.
No.
Yeah,
It's not that they play bad.
Detroit's good.
They
Chicago's
don't give up.
bad.
That's my point. They don't give up. Caleb Williams, rookie, he's doing the best he can for what he's got. They just don't give up. Now, has it translated into wins? Not yet. But they're coming. You could tell there's potential there.
There's always next year.
If they switch up a couple
Or
things.
the year after.
Stop it. But watch. Detroit, Chicago is going to be a lot closer game than people think.
Chicago honestly just needs to get their running game going because their running game is so bad. Like,
Terrible.
when you have Caleb
Yeah.
Williams outscoring DeAndre Swift and Caleb Williams had 35 rushing yards, come on. What are you doing? Stop
I
it.
mean, they tried and they were successful for a little while.
No,
running
I think
Swift,
they
and then
gave
I
up
hate
on
that
it.
you
off track.
never know which Caleb Williams is gonna show up.
He made
'Cause
an
he could-
incredible pass last week, though,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Did you guys
he
see
did.
that?
The one
Sure.
running towards the sideline?
Yeah, that was insane. So that
he could
shows you
show
his
up and
talent.
ball,
He's
or
talented.
he could just throw 19 picks. Like, who knows?
That's the USC Caleb Williams. The picks that he's thrown, literally, how many picks does he have? I think he has like 6.
Teen.
But no, stop it. If you look at most of the picks he's thrown, it's because it's either slipped off a receiver's hands. It's been a nice pass. The receiver didn't hit it. Bounced off a chest, a helmet, something like that.
He has 5 this year, by the way.
5 picks
Yep.
through week, 13?
Just not bad.
That's not bad for a rookie.
And they
It's
have
not-
one of the highest rated defenses. But that just brings it back to more of the point is they have no excuses.
So the game that kind of got my attention is a lot of people are going to look at this game and think that it's like two teams playing for nothing, right? I've got the boys and the G-men. I'm curious to see
Which one is cursed more?
is Neighbors going to get the targets this week?
I feel like that game's going to be a tie.
Can Cooper Rush stay hot?
I think Dable's going to try to keep his job and just throw like to Neighbors 15 little 2-yard passes in a row. And
I'll take 'em.
He's going to end up with 35 yards on
Right.
18 targets.
18 receptions,
I'll take that.
20
'Cause-
yards.
So I just picked up Neighbors from
Who'd you get from this guy?
I got
Yes,
him from this
sir.
guy.
This dude. Today?
No.
So that was the trade. All right,
we were
so
the first three-way trade.
So,
in
before
the,
the
history of
reason-
We
history.
almost pulled that off, but didn't work
You
out.
gave him Hurts?
I gave him Hurts. He gave me.
So this is
So
what
I
let
accepted
me
your
ex-
trades at the exact same
Let me
time.
explain this trade of what happened. This is how Muffins tries to Diddy people. So he's like trying to sweet talk me in my ear. Oh, come on. Henry.
And you're falling for it, by the way.
No. I needed a quarterback. I traded the best running
You're
back for the best
undressing.
quarterback. It was a good deal. Then at the
Diddy
same
had money though. I don't got
time,
money.
he's sweet talking Earl to get. Now he's giving up a quarterback, but he's got the number one running back. So he sweet talks Earl to get another high priced quarterback.
Yes, sir.
And then 2 days later, he's back in my ear trying to get Lamar back.
But so here's the thing with me, I was in the same position as you were. Like with how bad you needed a quarterback, I needed a receiver, and I ended up walking out of there with Neighbors, Devontae Adams. Who else did I swindle off
With Jason too?
Are you still
No,
happy
no,
about
no,
the
you got
Neighbors
Jason,
thing, though,
yeah.
as you see it imploding? Are you
and
still
I
happy
needed
about
a
Neighbors?
tight end. I think with him making a fuss,
He's
they're
gonna start
gonna
getting-
start throwing him the ball, and I don't care if he puts up 60 yards on 20 catches. I'll take it. 26 points.
But isn't that the same thing Debo did? Like a season or two ago, Debo was like, give me the ball, yeah. And next thing you know, he starts getting the ball all over the place.
He was fussing about his contract and he got paid. I don't ever remember him
No,
fussing
he-
about not getting the ball.
He was fussing about it's like 2 or 3 seasons ago.
I mean, it could have been, but wide receivers do that on the daily.
Yeah, they do it all the time. But a rookie?
If they're that good.
Well, when you ain't got nobody else on the
A
squad.
I
game
think
that I'm-
Neighbors is 100% of the G-Men's offense.
A game that I'm looking forward to is the Steelers and the Bengals. I really feel like Tomlin taking the L, Russ taking the L last week. They're going to come back firing, on all cylinders. And also, too, the Bengals are on the other end taking L's every single week. And they should be winning these games. I mean, Burrow's throwing like amazing games. Jamar Chase is lighting the league up, and they cannot seem to pull off a win. It's ridiculous. And I just feel like two juggernauts are going to clash. And this is going to be, man, I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. I would pick the under on this one.
What's the under?
It's probably 47, 48.
45?
But I really feel like it's
If
going
it's
to.
47, 48, I'm taking the under for sure. I don't think it's going to be that high.
Yeah,
I think that it'll be maybe 42.
I think it's going to come down to the last drive.
I
It's gonna
bet
be an
against
exciting
Joe
game.
Burrow before, though, and Joe Burrow just can score on any damn team. He can put up 4 tutties.
I was about to say,
300
I
yards
feel
on
like
any
But
team.
one of these
Pittsburgh is
quarterbacks
a
are gonna
solid
get 4
defensive
touchdowns.
team, man, and they're angry, so and they need to stay in the race.
One of these quarterbacks is going to throw 4 touchdowns. So
It's probably not going to be Russ.
I mean, Russ could do it with the Bengals. Bengals have a terrible
Bengals defense is pretty trash.
dog water.
Dog water.
Dog water. Absolutely.
Dog.
All right, you
Wow.
guys. So let's move on. Obviously, we're big fantasy football people, so we always like to give you guys some booms and busts, right? We kind of each go around the round table and pick somebody that you're betting on to save your game that's supposed to put up big numbers and they're ultimately going to bust. So we've done our research and we try to give you, the opportunity to bench him before it's too late. And then we go into booms. And, sometimes you have players on bye. Sometimes, you have a hurt player and you need somebody to fill in and save your game. So we give you guys, some insight on players that you can pick up probably still on your waiver wire that can save your day. And Gal, who's your bust for the week? Let's start with bust.
My bust. Let's see. Oh, bust. Easy. Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Patrick Mahomes is my bust of the week. This is why.
Against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
This is why. Listen, trap game. I'm telling you, trap game. The Raiders are going through so much with the whole organization.
That they're now focused on beating the number 1 team.
They got to show something. I just feel like Patrick Mahomes, you think he's going to dog walk. I think that took that off of like a wrestling show. He's supposed to dog walk the Raiders. It's not going to happen. Bust. Total bust.
So your bust, is it going to be 10 points or under? What should the viewers expect?
Fantasy wise, depending on your league, with Patrick Mahomes, he hasn't really been scoring that much. So I'm with 10 to 12 points.
Okay.
If
okay.
that.
Yeah, if that, because
If
he's
that.
really only averaging like 15 points a game. He's not been blowing it up this season, so he's going to be below that.
Earl Campbell, who's your bust for the week?
Bust for the week, Lamb Jack, Lamar Jackson.
Crazy.
Why is that, sir?
I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to do it against the Eagles defense.
Yes, sir.
As much as we love to
What are you,
hate
the
the
ad
Eagles,
Absolutely.
as much as we love to hate the Eagles, their defense is real. They're for real. They are absolutely 100% real, their defense is.
I can
Even
see
though they
that
got the
happening.
This was
worst
nice.
fan base in all of football.
They do.
I think this is gonna be a high scoring game, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
How?
you just don't see
How,
it.
though?
I don't see it
How is it
being.
going to be a high scoring game?
So
I
you're
just-
saying Lamar Jackson is going to go what 10
Sub
points
10.
or under?
Sub
10?
10.
Okay, wow.
Wow, sub 10.
sub 10 with a rushing touchdown.
Wow. That's crazy.
I can
That
see him doing
takes
a
a
rushing
lot of
touchdown.
cojones, sir.
That's a lot.
But I'll roll with you. Muffins, who do you
I
got
don't.
for your bust?
I'm gonna go ahead and take Bo Nix going against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns showed a lot in this game against the Steelers. Granted, half the game was at a Snow Bowl, but Bo Nix hasn't really proven himself against good defenses. And this
No.
one, you're gonna play a pretty solid defense. Myles Garrett is eating; he's been eating all year
Eating.
long. I don't think Bo Nix is gonna be able to handle this one. I mean, I
And
feel
he's
like
a rookie, so
Yeah.
I mean, I like
yeah,
that
that
one.
heat's gonna
just
be
a kind of separate like little 5-second topic. Do you think that Bo Nix right now has overtaken Jaden Daniels for Rookie of the Year
Not
so
at
far?
all.
Yes,
Not at all.
100%.
Not at all.
100%. The Broncos
Yeah,
were
my
horrible
Lord.
last year. They had one of the worst, rosters in the league. And here's Bo Nix. You guys see him on fantasy. He's putting up 40, 50
50
points.
points?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What is it,
And he's
54?
consistent.
Yeah.
He's throwing a lot more touchdowns.
I'm
He's throwing
sorry
a
I
lot
had
less
to do that
interceptions.
to you. You can look at me all you
You're
want.
talking to piss me off.
He has a lot more
And
rushing
you
yards.
got your sidekick here today, and then all of a sudden, John's on board with this mess too.
Hey, let me ask you: is
Guys.
it working?
No, not at all.
It's absolutely working.
Not at all. Because
Well, Jaden
listen,
Daniels is spiraling lately, right?
he was injured. Let's be real. He was injured.
How many weeks we gonna use that excuse though?
He was injured. He had a rib injury.
Don't play him.
I'm not the coach.
That's
I
what I'm
totally
saying,
agree
yeah.
with you on that. Because
He
Washington
did say that. the
Washington
other week. Yeah.
Washington has a history of playing hurt quarterbacks, and we all see what happens there.
Oh yeah, Jason Campbell.
All right, my bust for the week is going to be Kyler Murray. Okay. This guy is going to take a flat out L this week. He's facing a fierce defense, and I just really feel like, he can't just keep running around like it's Madden
Right.
and not expect to get hit, or you know what I mean? So I think all his flash is going to catch up with him this week. It's going to be a really, really rough game.
Playing them trash Vikings.
And usually, if you have
Chris.
Kyler Murray, you have somebody sitting on your backups spot. So
Yeah.
because in your mind, he's not like your for sure starter in fantasy. So switch him out this week.
Well, he's
Do
definitely
yourself
not
a
throng it
favor.
to Marvin Harrison Jr. I know that much.
I
You
feel
know,
like
they're
it's
playing-
not a surprise, though, because I feel like Kyler Murray is that boom or bust quarterback every week.
And he's playing in
The definition
Minnesota.
of hot
Like
and cold.
it's really hard to play in Minnesota. The freaking fans are crazy there. The sound, it's electrifying. They have a lot of energy going their way. I really feel like you guys should really, really sit Kyler Murray this week. Let's move on to
I
our
agree with
booms, though. So, Engel, who's your boom for the week?
My boom, speaking of Arizona, Minnesota, my boom of the week is Aaron Jones. I feel like being that they're playing Arizona, this is a 30-point game for him. 30-point game. I'm giving it over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. You heard it here first. Let's get it. Aaron Jones, do what you do.
He's
Pretty-
been booming, too.
Yeah, pretty much every star
Yeah.
honestly scores everything against Arizona.
Yeah.
Earl, who's your boom?
Okay, hear me out.
Uh-oh.
If Ferguson remains in concussion protocol, Luke Schoonmaker, if you need a tight end as bad as I did, I picked him up last week. And then
He balled.
he put up 15 points. He put up 11
I love
the
that
week
pick.
before.
It gives the viewers a chance to go and save
And he's
their
probably
season.
available.
Ultimately, we're in clutch time right now.
Like, let's be honest. There hasn't been the tight ends have, aside from National Tight End Day, the tight ends have just not been showing up.
At all.
George Kittle
Shoemaker?
invented that, by the way.
He's put up 15 points last week. He put up 11 before that. And that was, nobody saw it coming.
I love that pick, and you know what? It's almost certain that Ferguson is going to be out because they're playing on Thanksgiving, folks. I mean,
he's still
they
in protocol.
They have to recover really quickly
Yeah.
here before
I
that
don't
game.
think like the days that are needed it'll be after Thursday. So.
Yeah. Muffins, who's your boom?
For what I will say before I move on to mine, though, is there's a lot of talk about, how the running backs get devalued in their position. And this year, the running backs are kind of taking that over.
Yeah, let's take it
But
back.
honestly, I'm surprised that the tight end position isn't getting devalued.
Well, after this season, it might. Because
But with that
I
being
don't
said,
know. Look at Brock Bowers balling out.
He's the exception.
him and Kittle
year.
are, I think, the only two exceptions this year.
But even
But
then,
the running game
Bowers
is stepping up, and ultimately that is because of the tight ends. I mean, you got to have a
But
good
in
tight end
pass
to have a
blocking
good running
and
game.
pass blocking.
yeah,
Who's your boom, Muffins?
But in that regard, I'll go ahead and take a tight end and Taysom Hill.
Stop.
So-
that.
He's not really a tight end, but you can go ahead and sneak this one into the tight end slot as they still have him categorized for a
That's
tight end.
terrible.
Absolutely. No. So I lost last week in my fantasy points because I didn't start Taysom Hill, and I'm absolutely not going to disrespect this man again. So, like Earl's point, tight ends this year have been very hit or miss every single week, mostly miss. Taysom Hill is putting up just as many points as they are. Just as many.
Yeah.
And then when he does hit, this
and
man
in
hits
some
for like
weeks he
30,
puts up
40
35
points.
points.
Exactly. So, I mean, this man can throw a touchdown. This man can catch it for a touchdown. This man can run it for a touchdown.
He's the definition of a boomer bust.
He's
so
definitely
I
the
like
utility man. He's definitely the utility
I feel
man.
like
I'm
You
not
need a
disagreeing
tight
with
end.
you
Go
there.
and pick up
Not disagreeing.
Cowboys tight end. What's his name? Shoemaker.
Luke
Shoemaker? Shoemaker. I love it.
What I will say though, I feel bad for Caleb this week because both of our busts are on his team as quarterbacks, Kyler Murray and Bo Nix.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're screwed either way, bro.
Taysom Hill, Shoemaker. I mean, those are some hidden gems right there that could ultimately save your season because there's only about 2 or 3 games left, folks. And I know all of you guys are fighting for a playoff spot.
I'm fighting for my life right now.
Yes, my boom of the week is gonna be Cooper Rush. Okay, he had a decent game last week, especially in the second half, right, Earl? So
Back to back though.
he's playing the Giants on Thanksgiving. You got that turkey magic in the air, okay?
So he's trying to get a turkey leg, huh?
And it's just the Giants are in such disarray right now.
But I feel like the Giants are about to explode.
No, they're fighting their coach. They're fighting each other.
And
They
they're
don't
about to
have a
fight these
quarterback.
Cowboys. Come on.
Fun fact: I think Cooper Rush has only lost to the Eagles and the Texans.
Look for Cooper Rush to
already
score 20 points or more. So if you need a QB, if you have someone hurt, go out and pick him up. He might save your season. All right, you guys.
Savior.
Moving on. We give our viewers a chance to win some money. We call it, what is it called, you guys?
Fire picks.
All right, we all basically pick.
Should have thrown you in. It's all
good, baby.
Sorry.
We all basically pick each a really thought out pick that you can parlay. All right. This week we have Earl as a special guest. So we're actually going to do a 5-way parlay.
Ooh.
Put 10, 20 bucks on it. You might cash out $300-400. All right. Who's your fire pick for the week, Earl?
Detroit. I think they're sitting at -11.
Okay. So
I'm taking Detroit to. I think they're going to win by 23. To be honest with you, and
I like that
it
pick.
could be
I
a
like that
trap
pick.
line. It could be a trap line, but honestly, I don't see them not covering 10 or 11 points.
And you know they don't stop pushing the ball downfield even when they're
Ever.
up big. So I
But
like
that's when
that.
you look
I
at
like
their
that.
team, there's nothing they can't do. Throw the ball, run the ball, special teams, and like they can score on you many different ways. I like it.
Muffins, who's your fire pick for the week?
So me personally, more towards Bo Nix. I don't think he's gonna have a good game. I don't think either quarterback's gonna have a good game. I'm taking the Browns Broncos in the under in that game. And honestly, right now I think they're somewhere around the 40-42.
Two super solid defenses too.
Yeah. So I feel like it's gonna be one of those games where
I
points
like
are
that.
hard to come by.
Browns, Broncos on the under.
Browns, Broncos. Interesting.
What are they sitting at? What were the points?
I think they're sitting around like what 40, 42, 43.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can't go over 21 points each. I
Yeah.
like that.
That's
Okay.
super easy.
Okay, that's solid. That's solid. So my pick is actually kind of contradictory to what I just said about Patrick Mahomes being my bust. I'm actually taking the Chiefs and the Raiders. I'm taking the under on that game. The under is 41.5. 41.5, because honestly, I don't think the Chiefs are going to score that many points, and we all know the Raiders ain't going to score no points. So
So with that game, it's gonna go one of two ways. Either one, it's gonna
Mahomes
be
might put up 42 by himself.
He's
yeah,
not.
that's
He's
the one
not.
way I think it goes.
He's
You know, it's
not.
one of those games where they put up like
He's not. This ain't
3 touchdowns in the first half and then they bench him in the second
this ain't
half.
2023 Mahomes. This is 2024 Mahomes. He doesn't
He
do
struggled
much.
last year too. I
He
feel
doesn't
like
do much.
when you go deeper.
Right. 2021.
Yeah.
This is COVID Mahomes.
I like that pick.
under.
What was Caleb's pick for the Fire?
I don't know.
I got Caleb's pick right here, actually. Caleb's pick was Tua under 240 passing yards in the game against the Packers.
Okay, I like
Ooh,
that.
That's a solid pick.
The
That's a
Packers
solid.
just got
Packers got a good
done
defense.
with
I
the
think so.
dominating defense against my Niners. Noted.
smashed them.
Everybody was injured all around us, so we don't take that
Purdy.
Ooh, Purdy?
elusive.
Right. Elusive.
Can these guys knock it off with this? There's no way.
Okay, so two on the underpassing. My Fire pick, I hate to say it, he's playing my Niners, but you know,
Josh Allen 3 or more touchdowns.
no, I'm not going
Right?
that route. I'm picking a Josh Allen anytime TD. I feel like he's really going to get a rushing TD. We
Oh, okay.
suck defending rushing quarterbacks, so I really feel like he's just going to bulldoze his way in to
He
at
might
least
get
one.
two.
No,
Right?
Slow
He
down
might
there,
get two.
sir.
Right?
He might get 2 and throw for 4.
Well, there you have it, folks. Solid, thought out Fire picks. If you missed it, it's right there on the bottom of your screen. Put 5, 10, 20 bucks on there. You guys might cash out. That's extra Christmas presents, right?
For real.
There you go.
Be in the spirit.
Christmas dinner.
Locks of the week. I know Muffins has the actual totals.
Because I do.
Yep, of what we've been basically scoring all season long.
Top dogs. So you guys
What's
can always
the records right now, bro?
absolutely. You guys can always see it on your screen as well. But Caleb leading the way at 12-3. He had a perfect
Sheesh.
perfect week. Yeah, he's pulling away
That's
a
like
little
a
bit.
back-to-back perfect weeks, isn't it?
I mean, I think he missed one last week, but he's still. I mean, he's winning a lot more than he's missing. John catching up at 9-6. And Gal, my friend, now me and you are tied.
We're tied. What,
We
8
are
and
tied
7?
at 8-7, my friend.
That's terrible.
I love it.
I don't like it.
I don't
I
like
don't have
it
a dog
because I
in this
picked 2
fight.
upsets. I should have
I
picked
love
just
it.
the one upset.
I love it. Scratch that.
but-
You know what? For the bettors out there, we do live in Vegas. We pick our locks basically to give you guys some extra ability to, if you guys want to bet, put some money on these picks because these are thought out as well. And we're actually really competitive with this one. The winner of this is gonna win something, and the loser of this, last place, is gonna have to do something really weird.
Ooh,
Attended
We
Diddy party.
haven't figured it out yet, but it's getting there.
it's getting cold.
So, who's your locks of the week, Muffins?
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chargers over the Falcons. I think the Chargers. I mean, honestly, they kind of let me down this last game. And then Kirko, been kind of disappointed. I'm sorry, but I don't think they can compete with the Chargers defense.
Kirk O'Chain.
Yeah, because Herbert right now is actually taking care of the ball. He's actually leading the league with only 1 interception.
That's
But I will go
wild.
ahead and take the Chargers over the Falcons. I will take the Chiefs over the. Wow, I just
You did.
hit puberty right there.
I don't want to say nothing.
Chiefs.
Whatever.
Chiefs.
I will take the Chiefs over the Raiders. I couldn't bet the over and under on that one by myself, you guys. But I mean, I'm definitely taking the Chiefs because I think Mahomes is gonna ball out.
Okay.
He's gonna ball out, my friend. I'm sorry.
Trash.
And then of course, I'll be shocked. I'm taking the Eagles over the Raiders. Again, I think they keep it going. I think they have more in the tank than the Ravens do. I think they're gonna come out with this dub.
I like it.
Drop.
Not bad. Not
I
bad.
can see you going 1 and 3.
Right.
Come on.
One and two.
Definitely 1 and 3 on that crap. Yeah. All right. So let me give you my locks of the week. Obviously, we're gonna take Washington over Tennessee. We're gonna get our winning streak back.
This is gonna be the end.
I
of
don't
him.
like that.
We got to
He,
get
just,
back.
he keeps betting on his
Hey,
team.
you know
It's
what's so
just not
funny?
working.
No one asked you if you liked it. This is my locks of the week. Write down your own locks of the week.
I got you.
Gee, I don't like that. Next one, I'm taking Miami over Green Bay. Tua. I mean,
So far you're 0-2.
stop it.
Yeah.
This sounds like you want to make a bet on something.
How many times do you have to lose bets to me this year?
I've only lost one. Calm down.
You're about
all
to
right.
lose a second.
It's
We
my
have
next
first
one.
week here, but I'm degenerate.
I'm
gambler.
taking
We
the
can do
Jets
this.
over Seattle. You heard it here first, guys.
You
Let's
think
go.
Aaron Rodgers is gonna just fire back, even though the world is crashing down on him?
Exactly, because he
Hey,
don't
but what I
care.
will say though is that is an upset. So that is 2 points if he wins that, correct?
Yeah, it definitely.
No,
not
I
upset.
honestly, We
No, don't
we
try-
haven't discussed about this 2-point thing
It's
yet
an
because it's
upset.
hard to track after all
no,
these
it's not.
shows.
No,
Yes, it
because
is.
we all bring it up here in front of
Yeah.
everybody, and we all have to agree that is a.
That's an upset. If the Jets beat Seattle, it's an upset.
But then you'll have one extra point over everybody.
I'm trying to figure out the problem with that.
All right.
if
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
think that would be an upset, put that in the comments, please.
Yeah.
That is absolutely an
It's an
upset.
upset.
I mean, they have a lot of talent on the Jets. Yeah, they haven't been performing.
Dude, if they could just make it work,
Mhm.
the Jets are disgusting.
Seattle's
on paper.
not like dominating teams. I don't think that's a for real upset, to be
It's an
honest with
upset.
Because
you.
you have a playoff team and a non-playoff, non-competitive team.
Seattle's not a playoff team yet, bro. They're tied. Basically, the whole division is tied in the NFC West.
But they're still a playoff team.
But still, it's
Yeah,
not
but you
like
also
they're
have a team
dominating.
that should, on paper, be a playoff contender.
Shoulda, coulda,
and then you
woulda.
have a team that should really not even be in the conversation.
But they are.
JSN, DK.
JSN, I would feel as of right now, I would think like JSN is actually their number one receiver right now as of the last couple.
You know
weeks.
what's worth 2 points? If it was a situation like the Raiders beating the Chiefs, a really true underdog
That should
story.
be worth,
You
like, 3
call it.
points.
Right?
You
That
know
should
what
be
I
worth,
mean?
like, a
That's
3-pointer.
like going to the extreme.
That's like a super
No, but
upset.
that's a real like a 2-point thing here, man. I don't
All
know.
right, we'll
about that
discuss
That's a
it later.
three-pointer
We'll
for
discuss,
sure.
we'll discuss it later. Who,
Actually, put it in the comments. All right, it's our first time going live. Show us some love. Get in there, comment it up. What can we do to get better?
Everyone tell Johnny's wrong.
please tell me something.
All right, so my locks of the week. I'm rolling with the Dolphins.
Okay.
You finished, right, sir?
Yeah, I'm done, sir.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm done.
okay,
I'm
perfect,
good, sir. I'm
perfect.
good.
I'm going with the Dolphins over the Packers. That's why I'm kind of a little nervous about Caleb's pick about the 256 yards and under, because I really feel like Tua's starting to gel. Even though Tyreek is not really getting too much love yet, they're still hitting. They're starting to warm
Waddle.
up. And
Yeah, but you want him to hit against the number one takeaway defense in the NFL, though. You're asking a
yeah,
lot.
but McKinney has glue on his hands or something. I mean, it's very rare to
cheating.
get
He's
an
around the
interception
ball.
every single game. But anyway,
Is he cheating?
he's
Is that what
not
you're
cheating.
saying?
You ain't cheating,
he
you ain't
cheating?
winning.
I'm
Kenny's
going with the
damn
Dolphins to take this one, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna go ahead and roll with Caleb on the under as well because I can see them winning, and not necessarily because of Tua, because of that running game. I'm also going with the Chargers. I feel like they're gonna. Jim Harbaugh's always comes back, just full power when he takes a L. He just lost to his brother. He's pissed off. He's working those guys double time at in practice right now. I really
You know they're
feel
talking
like-
trash during Thanksgiving.
I really feel like he's gonna figure out a way to shut down Kirk. And then for my last lock of the week, I'm going with the Broncos. Bo Nix, I can see him struggling a little bit, but I really feel like there's a huge coaching difference there, as far as what the Browns have to offer compared to Sean Payton. So I'm going with the Broncos.
The thing
You
about-
heard it here first.
Bo
And I've been
Nix.
winning a lot of games. I started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Oh my lord!
So
Here
if you
we
want to
go.
spend your
Started
money,
from the
spend it
bottom, and
on
now
me
he's in
because it's
second
coming.
place.
Yeah.
Stop.
Started from the
madness.
bottom, but now I'm in second place. This guy.
Really quick, we got a little extra time to burn, and I really want to talk about Aaron Rodgers really fast.
A-Rod?
A-Rod. He's had all the pieces
Bad
around
man.
him, right? He's got his coach fired. He got his best friend to join the team. He has another all-star wide receiver right next to him. Now there is speculation that he's hurt, and he's coming out and saying that he doesn't want to get an MRI, right? He doesn't want people to know how hurt he is because he's a warrior. And I feel like that's
I feel like he just called his boy and was like, dude, you're on a really terrible team. Like, you could come over here and be on a really terrible team and hang out with me, play Xbox or something.
I feel like Aaron Rodgers saying that is like a true Aaron Rodgers thing. Where he's
Right.
trying to make himself
Just
sound
come hang
awesome.
out. Just come hang out.
Yeah.
But there's also, a chance where he might just sit on IR, for the rest of the season. How do you think this is
Who's
going
their
to play
backup
out?
quarterback?
You know what? I'm not sure.
About to
even
be
sure.
DJ.
I was like, yeah, they traded Zach Wilson.
How do you think this is going to play out? Is he going to be back with the Jets next year? Is he going to get signed to a team next year?
He might be in the
Or-
CFL next year.
No, let's just be real. If he's not with the Jets, he's still going to be in the league somewhere next year. Raiders? Oh, he's not coming to the Raiders. Because then he'd have to bring his boy back to the Raiders.
Why go from a crappy team to another, right?
Yeah,
Tyrod Taylor is the backup in there.
Bad
by the
news.
way.
he'll be on a team next season.
He's not going to be with the Jets.
We don't
Who's
know
not
that.
going to be with the Jets?
Rodgers, you think next
I
year?
think he'll be with the
Why
Jets.
not?
I think he's going to be with
I
the
think
Jets.
he'll be there.
Do you think he's going to finish out the season, or you think he's going to take the
even if you go
easy way out?
well,
Because he is
depends
old.
if-
He's like 41 years
but
old
it
now.
depends if he's hurt. So you can't really say the easy way out. If he's hurt, he's hurt. Now, if he's hurt and trying to play tough, he's too old for that.
Way
Like,
too old for that.
Because there's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
rumors out there that the coaching staff or the GM or owner has had enough of Rodgers too. They want to move off, so they might tell him, "Hey,
Well,
Can't blame
like-
him. You got these superstars all over the place. You got Brees Hall. You got Devontae Adams.
Brees
it's
freaking Hall.
They
Wilson.
brought that man up in weeks.
Yeah, thank God. Good Lord. that
You
guy
know
was
what's
a
one
bust.
way I could see him coming back? I don't think he'll get signed next year. I think he'll be chilling on free agency. But I think if there's a contender and one of their quarterbacks gets hurt, he might come in like mid-season.
I don't
try to
think
Like the
save the day.
49ers?
Ooh,
No, I don't think Brock's gonna get hurt
because
I
he's
hope not.
elusive.
Yeah.
He's too
But I could see
elusive
him
for
coming
that.
back from that. All right, you guys, it's time for Engel's trash talk of the week.
All right, guys. So, trash talk this week. It has nothing to do with football whatsoever. It has to do with F1 freaking motorsports. We live in Las Vegas, and they just had the F1 race, the Las Vegas, whatever you want to call it. I don't watch that mess. You know what I really hate? Is the fact they shut down half of the damn roads. You can't go on this. The track is on the strip. First off, what if I wanted to go to the strip? What if I wanted to go down there and be a freaking tourist? I can't. I got to pay to get down there. They put all this metal crap up around the town. You do realize, I think F1 ended on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday night it ended. It's Tuesday night and roads are still closed for F1.
Last year it took a month to take it
F
down.
that. They still had crap up from last year's race. It was like, oh, they're coming again, so why even take it down? Let's just push it to the side of the road. Like once you go to Koval, which is a street in Las Vegas, you go over to Koval, you can't. I was watching the news this morning. They had, how they'll have like the Rover or whatever it's called with the camera on the streets. This guy was on Spring Mountain for an hour and a half trying to go 2 blocks.
Sounds like LA traffic.
I feel bad for anybody that has to work down there. I don't work down there personally, but I feel bad for anybody that does. That's freaking crap, guys. We got to do better than that.
Absolute
Trash.